Hi everyone. So I've been developing this application at the moment using the Logitech MX Ink Pen, which I'm going to use as a fire extinguisher. More on that later. But one of the things I've been looking at doing with the mixed reality is using the occlusion, using the depth API, which I'm just demonstrating here. So I've put things on the other side of the wall. This got me thinking, just because you can obviously still use the pen for the drawing, so this is just really its out-of-the-box solution. But one of the things with the problem with this is whatever you draw exists and doesn't take account of the actual space you're working in. So I've given this one the actual occlusion material, and again, just drawing in air. But this time it actually takes account for what you're doing in space. So it's really good at hiding everything. I just go and delete it again. So if I put, and excuse the terrible drawing, like it's supposed to be a flower. Maybe some color will help. Anyway, so I've put that in the center and it exists in space. It's really good, but it does hide. So that's really useful. I played about with this of doing things with the door. You can put things like draw outside and then close the door on yourself, and it does actually disappear, which is kind of cool. A really good one as well is it is occluded by your hand in front, so if someone walks in front or there's objects in space, you can actually put your hand through it, etc. And yeah, it works out really well. So I'll just go on quickly to show you how I put this together, but it's kind of a useful feature, and I think it's something, if I ever do the drawing aspect with the pen, I'd look at actually using a lot more throughout my projects. Okay, so just to take you through how I set this up really quickly, I'm using the Depth API, which if you look on the developers meta.com and have a search for it, this is how the occlusion works. You can choose the way it works with kind of soft and hard edges, and there's a lot of information on this and how to set it all up. It does link to the GitHub page, which is a bit more information on there. It points out the fact you have to add the permission scene, you have to have the API graphics to Vulkan, multi-view. Best way is to use the project setup tool. It will tell you where you're going wrong and things that you need to change. Once you've got it all up and working, I do recommend going through and importing all of their extra shaders they've got. There's a good selection, which is what I've used on the pen, and just have a look at just installing those. It gives you these extra options. To have a quick look at the project, so I've installed everything just quickly I've done building blocks, so the camera rig, the pass-through, that just turns on automatically. Ignore the spatial anchors, that's just something I'm working on. And then there's the occlusion, which installs everything. You will get, with the building blocks, just this one cube, which uses depth material. You'll see that it links to the shader of the environment depth, occlusion lit. There's not many in there, which is why it's best to install the extra shaders. I'll show you, this is the MX Pen. This is just how it's installed out the box using their instructions and the drawing app. I've added a little script just for the demonstration, which just, when you press the front button, just swaps over the two materials. So I've got their standard one they're just using for the demonstration. I copied that, clicked on it, and then changed the shader to this new one. You'll see that it's the same list you've got there. I'm just using the occlusion lit. Just go through and attach that to the pen as it's ink, and then you'll just get the occluded material, and it works really well for mixed reality. One thing, as far as I'm aware, only works with the Meta Quest 3, not the 3S, and I've only managed to get this to work with anything before Unity 6 because I can't get the pen to work with Unity 6 yet, because it only works on version 68.02 of the SDK, whilst this is running version 77, hence why I am running Unity 2022. So yeah, let me know if you've got any questions or play about with it. It's a really useful feature and something I'm going to look at playing about with more in the future. Cheers!